What's up? Good morning. It's Sunday morning here at Royalwood Church. Got a lot of ground to cover today. I asked you guys on Instagram for some things that you wanted to know about in today's vlog. So if you didn't get a chance to ask a question, make sure you follow me on Instagram at DKBernard. Also, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, I upload like weekly content of lessons and covers, live performances from services like this, and just vlogs that hopefully contain some tips, some gear, some things you may like and enjoy if you're a drummer. So subscribe, like, share this video with anyone you might think may enjoy it. So today we're singing a new song by BJ Putnam, and I've added a little intro fill that I've gotten tons of questions about. It's not really that difficult, so I thought I would break it down in today's vlog. I may make another lesson video specifically for that, just so people know where to go to get that. But very easily, it's one pattern: right, left, right, kick, kick, right, left, kick. That's it. I loop it twice, okay? So, and then I start it on the and of one. So the break is on one, so this fill goes from one, like the end of one to one. So again, right, left, right, kick, kick, right, left, kick, right, left, right, kick, kick, right, left. Yeah, that's it. Right, left, right, kick, kick, right, left, kick, right, left, right, kick, kick, right, left. Okay, so it starts on the end of one. So one. Okay, and that's it. Another question I get asked a lot is, how do I get the sound for my videos? So there's not really much use in me showing you the routing because I don't really know all the ins and outs myself. But basically what we've got is we got the drum kit mic'd up here, and then it's processed by our front of house board, which is a Yamaha M7, and we have installed two Dante cards, which again, in a very crude fashion, they're basically cards that allow you, each card allows you to track 16 channels, so record 16 channels or process 16 channels on the board. So with two cards we can process 32 channels, and then from the board we go out via Ethernet or internet cable into a computer, which we have a MacBook Pro, into Logic. You can do Logic, Pro Tools, GarageBand, anything. And then Dante has a program called Virtual Sound Card. And so with the virtual sound card, it basically converts the Dante signal from the board into something that Logic can read, like an interface. And from that, in that sense, we have our digital board basically recording 32 channels. So I've got a full session of the entire track. It's like a light came on, light bulb moment. So I've got like a full session of the entire track. So I've got all the singers, all the drums independently. So, and that's basically how I get my sound. So I mix it from there. So again, very simply, we record it, multi-track from our digital board into Logic. So if you have a digital board, chances are there is some way you can just research it, multi-track and then type in your board name, and there's probably some method. Newer boards, ours is older, the Yamaha board is older. Newer boards have it built in, like the Behringer boards, like the X32 or the X48 or whatever. You can multi-track with those built in. You don't have to have a lot of additional software. So that's what we do. If you're curious about the microphones that we use to record and play live, I've got all those linked in the description below. I really like this setup that we're using, and it sounds good. We have a DW Collector Series kit here, maple. I'm playing 10, 14, 16. I'm using Remo Emperor clear heads on the toms, and then on the bottom is actually Evans G1s. They're older, I need to replace them, but the kit's kind of in a sweet spot, so I don't really want to mess with it. And then the snare that I'm using is a Ludwig. I've talked about it before. I've got an older vlog that goes through it, but I've got a Ludwig, like a vintage, I think it's a 1967 or 68, I can't remember now, Ludwig Superphonic snare, and I've got a Weather King Vintage A on top. So it's not your typical like gospel churchy setup, but I really like it. It's got a good pop to it, but it's also very fat and deep. It cuts through. And then I'm using Samson cymbals. If you want to get a hold of the Samson guys, right now the best way to get a hold of them at the time of this recording is on their Facebook page, actually, Samson Cymbals USA. I'm using medium thin Evo hats, a 9-inch Evo Splash, 17-inch Brilliant Crash, a 21-inch medium thin Heritage ride. I love this ride. It's got the perfect combination of the ping, the definition on the bell, and then also just crashability. I can really dig into it. I've got a 20-inch Brilliant raw bell crash that I need to replace. And then my stack, again, is kind of weird. It's actually an 18-inch FX crash, which is like kind of their ozone, over an extra thin 20-inch Earth ride, which is crazy. But the cymbals just marry very well, and I get a really tight seal between the two cymbals, where the bells aren't different sizes, where they don't match up, so they lock in pretty well, which gives it a really tight chick where I can really control how much sustain I want that crash, kind of that crashy, trashy sound to have. So yeah, that's it. My kick head, using a Power Stroke P3. Actually, I'm using a coated. I meant to order a clear, but they sent me a coated, so I just threw it on there and it sounds fine. So but yeah, Remo Power Stroke P3 coated. P3 coated. So that's kind of a rundown of the setup and what I'm using for those of you that are interested in that. This morning we got a good set. Sing a new song, BJ Putnam, so you'll get to see that fill and kind of how I play it. Turn It Up, which is Planet Shakers, Miracles, and then You Deserve It. You Deserve It by JJ Harrison. So it's gonna be a fun day. Again, I've been trying to flag all the questions I can and think about stuff. So I'm gonna run that down. I got questions about our lighting. I don't really know if I have time to do a whole lighting, walkthrough, but we use Jan's Vista 2. I'm gonna be the first to admit it's not the best system in the world. It's the one we've got, and we use it, and it works great. So we don't have like a physical board. Ours is all on a computer. So there are some pros and some cons to it, but we're using Vista, and have grown leaps and bounds. Actually, Travis has taken over as the tech director from me and is doing an incredible job with that. So yeah, that's our lighting setup. Alright, so it's like 9:07, about to do our first service. Just up in the stairwell before waiting for the countdown to start. So another question I get asked about a lot is our sound check process. So our schedule basically is the band comes at 7:30 or 7:45 if we really have no new material, and we rehearse from 7:30 to 8. Then the singers come in at 8 o'clock, and what they do is they go down the line. Each singer starts by doing a sound check, and they sing like the same line of the same song every week. That way we get kind of a consistent sound check. So we sing We Praise Your Name, like the chorus. So it'll be like soprano 1, they'll sing the first line to kind of get their gain set, soprano 2, soprano, or alto 1, alto 2, tenor 1, whatever. So then they sing each part, like the sopranos sing together to check their blend and their gain, the altos sing together, then the tenors sing it together, then the whole team sings it together. Again, just like 1 or 2 lines just to get a base setting. That happens at 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 8:30, we basically run the service top to bottom. So we'll like run the last 30 seconds of the countdown to check the audio, check the video, run song 1, song 2. Then, we have the welcome, greeting, all that kind of stuff, our connect card. Then we run like a little bit of the announcement video to check the audio level for that. Then we have the point where pastor comes and greets everybody. Someone's like, hey, welcome to Royalwood, yada yada, and then we go into songs 3 and 4, and then we're done by 8:40. 8:40 is Spark, which is our team meeting. All volunteers come at 8:40, and we basically just have a moment together that Garrett leads. Garrett Delano, our experienced team leader, leads, basically just kind of gives everyone a charge. Then we all cite like a code together just to kind of get our minds right. Basically, it's like we are the experienced team. We absolutely love people. We bend over backwards to serve our guests. We anticipate their needs. We serve with intention. The guests have our attention. The guests have our attention. All that kind of stuff. So that's at 8:40, and then we have 8:40 to 8:45, 8:50. Then everyone goes from there, and yeah. So that's our basic sound check flow. That's it for today. Had a great day, great service, packing everything up. But I wanted to give a little bit more of a breakdown for Sing a New Song. So one thing that I hear a lot of people play and kind of play it wrong is it actually has like a bounce to the like the interlude and the chorus. So the kick pattern, it's like doom 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 doom. So instead of like boots cats boots cat, it's more like do do cat do 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 cat to do cat boom cat to do. So I'm a terrible beatboxer, but it's a huge learning tool for me to try to beatbox stuff and really internalize the beat. So if you're playing it just completely straight and it doesn't feel right, that may be why. Basically it has like a little bit of a bounce to it, and then the bridge straightens out, right? So the bridge pattern is that gat doom doom gat doom doom gat doom gat doom doom gat doom doom gat. And then we've already talked about the intro pattern there. Sorry, I'm getting my camera set up. So we've already talked about the way the intro pattern works. So and that's just a fill that I added, you know, so it's not really that difficult. But really it's about the groove in the verses. The groove is the same. Halfway through the second verse, you know, it straightens out. And you got that chorus pattern that has like a bounce in it. It's not just straight. And then you got the bridge pattern that, you know, does the kind of the Coldplay feel, right? The, you know, got do do, got do do, got do got, and then you got the break. So yeah, it's a fun song. It's not that difficult. It's just kind of putting those pieces together, but feeling the rhythms. I feel like a lot of people get it wrong, and so, and let me preface that, I guess, or let me, what's the word I'm looking for? Let me put a disclaimer that it's not necessarily wrong. If, you know, you can play it however with your band, and that's great, but if you're trying to play it as close to the album, then that's kind of what you're going for, is that kind of bounce rhythm for that. So anyway, singing the song is a fun one, and I've probably gotten the most questions about that, that fill recently, so I thought I would just kind of break that down. But had a great day today. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. I'd love for you guys to follow along and get notified when new content drops. And like this video and share with someone, and see you guys next week.